This is a hadith from coming from Sheikh Mufid, narrated by different scholars. From Hussein bin Abi Khattab, a prominent Sahabi of the later Imams. Hussein bin Abi Khattab said, one day we were with the 10th Imam in Masjid al-Nabi in Medina. And at that time we were sitting with the Imam, and a group of our own Shia came in. And with them was Abu Hashim al-Ja'fari. Abu Hashim al-Ja'fari was descendant of Abdullah bin Ja'far, and a very respected and learned companion of the Imam, very much trusted by the Imams. And he came and sat with the Imam, and this narrator, Hussein bin Abi Khattab, says, we were sitting with the Imam. After a while, we saw a group came into Masjid al-Nabi, Jama'atun min al-Sufiyya. A Sufi group came in, they sat on the other side. وَأَخَذُوا بِالتَّحْلِيلِ. They started their circle, and started chanting, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. That's tahleel. So Imam turned to his own companions and he says, لَا تَلْتَفِتُوا إِلَى هَؤُلَاءِ الْخَدَّاعِينَ. Do not pay attention to these deceivers, because they are فَإِنَّهُمْ خُلَفَاءُ الشَّيَاطِينَ. They are agents of shaitan. مُخَرِّبُوا قَوَاعِدِ الدِّينِ. They are destroyers of the foundation of the faith. يَتَزَحِّدُونَ لِإِرَاحَةِ الْأَجْسَامِ. And I'll leave the Arabic here. It says they show abstinence in order to gain bodily pleasures. Do night vigils for capturing the animals. Animals here in quotation, referring to simple people. They spend their life in hunger in order to control the simple people. They don't chant the tahleel, La ilaha illallah, except for deceiving the people. They eat less so that they can fill their coffers and attract the hearts of the people. They talk to the people in a polite manner so that they can push them further into the ocean of ignorance. أَوْرَادُهُمْ الرَّقْص وَالتَّصْدِيَّةِ. And their rituals consist of dancing and clapping. وَأَذْكَارُهُمْ التَّرَنُّمْ وَالتَّغَنِّيَّةِ. And their repetitive zikr that they recite is actually singing and chanting. Let me just stop here before I continue. Some of our people say, Qawalli, well, they do fazilat of Ali. What is the problem with that? Remember, it's not only the words which are being, uttered. The whole issue of using of musical, instruments, clapping, and it's mostly, mixed. People get into what they call hal, spiritual state, stand up and starting dancing. There is nothing like that in a single example from 250 years of the era of our Imams of Ahlul Bayt. And it's not that these traditions did not exist. It was there in the fringe of the Muslim world. But there is not a single example where the Imams would have allowed that. Here we see that Imam is actually condemning that ritual. And so just because they say Ali, 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 Mawla Ali, with the drums and the musical instruments, and so this is fine. Well, then bring it here on 13th of Rajab next time, if that is halal. Just think about it. Just because they are uttering the name of Amir al-Mu'mineen doesn't automatically make it halal. When you discuss the issue of Ghina in jurisprudence, which is actually just the vocal sound without instruments, that also, if it reaches to a level where it controls your mind on a subconscious level, it becomes haram, even if it is recitation of the Quran. And what do I mean by subconscious level, controlling you? You know when your big toes or your neck starts moving without you realizing it? That is the level that voice is reaching to the level of Ghina. And it becomes haram. And instruments are not even there. Even if Quran or Nawha is recited in that way, it becomes a problem. It's not just because you have the Qasida of Amir al-Mu'mineen with that instruments and everything, because of that everything is fine. No. And this is where we have to realize that Imam is saying, أَوْرَادُهُمْ الرَّقْصُ وَالتَّصْدِيَةِ. Their rituals are dancing and clapping. And their repetitive zikr are singing and chanting. فَلَا يَتَّبِعُهُمْ إِلَّا السُّفَهَاءُ. No one follows them but the ignorant ones, and no one believes in them except those who are foolish. Whoever goes to visit them in their life or death is as if he is gone for a visitation of shaitan. And whoever helps them anyway, any of them, is like he has helped Muawiyah, Yazid, and Abu Sufyan. These are the words of Imam Ali An-Naqi Al-Hadi alayhi salatu wassalam. Salawat. So one of the companions actually said, but Imam, they acknowledge your status. Which was a ridiculous question. If they had acknowledged his status as one of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, why were they having their separate gathering in the same masjid? Why didn't they go and sit there with the Imam? And so when this person mentioned, that they are mu'tarif bihuquqikum, they have some respect for you and your rights. This is where Imam says, remove this idea from your mind. A person who accepts our rights does not disobey us. As I mentioned earlier, you can say Ahlul Bayt are our spiritual masters, but in theology you don't follow them. In fiqh you don't follow them. In hadith you don't follow them. In tafsir you don't follow them. What are they for? And this is where we have to realize that when we talk about, the quest for spirituality, indeed it is something good, but let us make it sure that we are following the sources and the rituals which come from Muhammad and Ali Muhammad salawatullah ala ajma'in, inshallah.